love family. I am Oshunyinka, your favorite womb goddess. If we are meeting for the first time, welcome in, welcome in. Go ahead and pull up a seat because you're going to love it here. If you stumbled across this content, then 10 times out of 10, you are ready to experience your soft girl era. And I love that for you, sis. So go ahead and hit that subscription button so you don't miss out on amazing content where we talk about femininity, spirituality, and holistic healing of the womb. If we are not meeting for the first time, y'all already know what to do. Go ahead and hit that like button, that share button, and drop me some purple hearts down in the comments so that we can get in the good graces of the YouTube guys. Today we are going to be discussing abstinence, and I'm going to get vulnerable with you guys and let you know about my personal celibacy journey that I'm currently on. And the intention of this video is to be able to give clarity to anybody who has been considering it or think that they may need to go on one. And also to bring inspiration to whoever is on it and want to keep striving for, a longer period of time, or for them to get understanding or clarity on their journey as well. So if this is something that you would like to learn about, then keep watching. You guys, I have been on this journey, the celibacy journey, for 12 months. December 19th made 1 year that I have not had sex. It's been an entire year. Time flies when you're having fun, y'all. So I wouldn't even say that it's been a long, dreadful year, because it has not. It has been nothing but amazing. And I love that for me. What is abstinence and what is celibacy? What is the difference between the two? I see a lot of people who use the term celibacy incorrectly. But the difference between abstinence and celibacy is abstaining until marriage. You having when you're just having an abstinence journey, typically it's just for a short period of time or a long period of time. But your intention is not to wait until you get married. It's just, I just needed some time to myself. But celibacy is you saying that, hey, I want to not give my body away again until I am married. So I want to talk about my celibacy journey. It has been, like I said, 12 months since I have started this journey, and I just wanted to not even give you guys any advice. I just want to tell you about my journey and let you decide whether this is something for you and whether it's not. Like, I don't have any advice to give you guys today. Sorry. I just want to tell my story, and hopefully with my testimony you can get all the answers that you need from this. So what made me start this journey? So this initially started off as an abstinence journey. I did not go into this saying that, I never want to have sex again until I'm committed long term. I never had that mindset in the beginning, but that's where I am right now. And I decided this maybe like 4 months in. I was like, yeah, I don't see me doing this again until I am ready to, be with somebody long term. So what brought this? How did this happen? What made me do this? What made me go on this journey was this time last year, I was pregnant. This was my first pregnancy. This is the first time I ever got pregnant, and it was with somebody that I wanted to spend my life with, or wanted to. I don't like to talk in definites. Let me just give you guys a backtrack of me, or a recap of me. I don't believe in traditional marriage. Like, I don't have a desire to be married by the state. That's cute and all, but I don't have a desire to be married by the state. So when I'm saying that I am waiting for marriage, it is just someone who has invested, and someone who has shown to me and proven to me in whatever ways, that, we agree upon, that they are here for the long haul, or they are here for a long period of time. I do not believe in definites of anything. I like to enjoy people while I have the experience with them, but I don't believe in like forever partners or anything like that. If it happens to be forever, then that's a plus, but I don't go into any relationship with the expectation of being with them forever. Because people change and things change, and I feel like that's okay. Like I'm not a possessive lover. So I say that to say, like, I am waiting for that person, or the next person in my journey that, I feel the same way about, that I felt about the last guy that I was with, because, we don't downgrade around here, we don't downgrade around here. So when it came to me being pregnant, because y'all are like, okay, so where the baby at? Okay, so I got pregnant. I conceived December 19th of 20. What was it, December? Yeah, December 19th of 2021, and I miscarried at 7 weeks. So this was very eye-opening for me, being that it was my first pregnancy, and it was with somebody that, this was the first person that I would consider myself being in love with. Yeah. Although it was not traditional, because I'm very traditional, but I'm not traditional the way most people look at tradition. So when it came to this person, the energy was very different. He taught me how to love unconditionally. He taught me, how to love people but beyond their flaws, because I'm the type that I'm the ghost queen, okay? Like if I'm not fucking with it, I am out of there, okay? If I tolerate you, it is literally just for pleasure. It's not, we not connected on a soul level. I'm not really interested in you, and 10 times out of 10 you have teammates, okay? So it wasn't like that with him. Like, although he met a lot of my requirements, he did not meet all of them, and I did not care. I still wanted to try it with him. I still wanted to make things work, even though, I was moving out of the state. Even we weren't dealing with each other for that long, and it was never even a commitment in the way that we were dealing with each other. Like, because when I met him, like on the first date, I was just like, yeah, I'm moving to Texas, and he was just like, you leaving me already? And I was just like, I mean, you could come with, but it was just like, it wasn't. It was different. I'll just say that it was different. And so, I embraced that. And what that taught me in that moment, what it taught me was that I was capable of being in love, because I always used to think that, being in love and saying, oh, love is blind, all that stuff, I always just thought that was cap. Like, and I still kind of feel like that for the majority of y'all. I feel like a lot of y'all just use love as an excuse to tolerate bullshit, because you do not know how, you don't have self-love. And as someone who has done the work before I even met him, I've done the work to be whole. I came in the situationship whole. I did not leave without being whole either. Like, there's nothing that anybody can take from me when I enter into any type of relationship. There's nothing anybody can take from me, because I come whole. I don't come in pieces, because I want to give you my best, and I deserve that in return. So when it came to long story short, when it came to the miscarriage, it just, for one, a lot of things happened in that time. A lot of things I had to unpack with that. For one, when I got pregnant, it was not intentional. It was not intentional. So there was a part of me that felt very betrayed. It was a part of me that felt very abused, and it brought me back to a place of vulnerability where I felt like, after all these years, I've been trying to heal, because I've been feeling like, I can't trust I don't trust men. Like, being around them, I don't feel safe around them. And I felt like that for years. And I've been going through the motions of healing that. And it's like, he broke that down from me. He broke that guard down from me. And I still feel like he he put like 20 more cinder blocks on top of that wall that I was breaking down, because this was not intentional. It was intentional on his behalf, but it was not intentional for me. Like, I said to you, like, of course y'all know I don't use birth control, but and I was out of state. Like, typically I have my own tinctures and things like that, as far as like, but I was out of town because I was giving birth. I was supporting a birth. I'm a doula, so I was out of town. I didn't have those things, and that I needed. But I made sure I told him to bring a condom. I won't play those games. And then too, like, nigga, I ain't seen you in like 6-8 months. Like, I don't know who you've been dealing with. Like, don't play with me like that. So I intentionally, I told him, bring a condom or whatever. I saw him put it on. We used it, but somehow or another, we didn't. It ended up not being on. When I found out, I knew I was pregnant, like maybe like a week after we conceived. Like, it was 10 days to be exact. It was 10 days after I conceived. I had just got back home to Texas, and I was fasting. I did a 7-day fast when I got back home. And day 8, day 9, I started to be really hungry, and I water fast a lot. I fast a lot in general, but I'll water fast, I'll juice fast frequently, and I'm never hungry during that fast, because I've turned off, that side of my brain that's telling me that I'm hungry, because my body understands that we're fasting. And I was just super hungry, like waking up at 5 a.m., like starving, and I'm just like, okay, I don't force anything. Like, I'm not the type that's gonna force my body to not eat. If I'm hungry, I'm gonna eat. So I ate, like, I was eating my fruits and stuff like that, but I was hungry still all day long. And I do a lot of walking, so I was getting up at like 5 or 6 a.m. and I was feeling a little, when I started to go and do my morning walks, I started to feel nauseous. And, I'm like, this only been a week. Like, I've done, 30 days of not eating nothing. Like, what's really going on? And then my sister called me and told me that she was pregnant. And she was just like going and tracking back her time. I was like, how far along are you or whatever? And she was tracking around her time, and she was just like, me and her are synced. Even though she was still in North Carolina or whatever, we're still kind of synced or whatever. So she was telling me when was her time, and I was just like, when did you say you was ovulating? And I went and looked back at the time. I was looking at, I was feeling my symptoms, and I was just like, I know you fucking lying. I know you fucking lying. So, I was too early for it to be detected on a pregnancy test. So I waited like maybe 3 more days. So it was literally less than 2 weeks. Like, it was literally like, I think it was like 13 days. I was pregnant for like 13 days. And then I took a test, and it still was clear as day that I was pregnant. It was 2 lines. And I was just like, at not even 2 weeks, like hadn't even missed my period yet. And the lines were very heavy. Very solid. So I was just like, fuck, like, I am. And as soon as I just came to that realization, and it just sunk in, I wasn't upset. Although I should have been, because, that was a form of abuse. Like, you literally took the condom off, and not only took it off, but you ejaculated in me. And not only ejaculated me, you didn't even tell me. So I couldn't do. I could have did something if I could have known. Like, I could have did something. I'm a whole herbalist out here. I could have done something to have prevented it, but you didn't say nothing. You just violated my body like that. So the wall that I was breaking down with him, I just built back up. And then at another point, I was feeling, stupid. Like, damn, I really trusted him. Or, am I one of the delusional girls, like, out here, like, oh, you just still love this man? Like, you're not pissed at him, like, or whatever. And I was just like, I was going through the motions. Long story short, I was going through the motions. And as I'm going through the motions, I had did a prayer, because, of course I talked to him or whatever. And the conversation was not, what I wanted it to be. And, I wasn't stressing. I'm grown. I wasn't stressing. I wasn't upset or anything. It just was what it was. And so I prayed, and I remember journaling. I still have that in this journal. As a matter of fact, like, I still literally have this in my journal, and I don't think I'll ever get rid of this. Sorry, y'all. I literally just smacked the microphone with my thing. But yeah, like I still have like the test and everything up here. Like, and this was ironically y'all can't even see that, but it's 11122. The irony. That's when I took the test. So even when like I started journaling, I started praying, and I just said I told God, like, if this is not what you have for me, if this is not for my greatest good, if it's not for my highest good, then handle it, because I don't believe in abortions for myself. I'm very much so pro-choice for anybody else, but for myself, I don't believe in abortion. So I was just like, I'll let you be the call on this, but if this is not for my highest good, then do your job, like handle it. And 2 days later I miscarried. So with that being said, I wasn't upset or anything like that, because it wasn't for my highest good. So that gave me a sense of relief. I don't want to struggle love. I don't want, my child to go without. I don't want to be, I know what I deserve. And if it was anything less than what I deserve, I didn't want it. So that's how we started off 2022. Like, we started off like it was kind of hectic starting off the year. So with that being said, with that journey of me starting off that way, I just had to do a lot of reflecting. Like, how did I get to this point? Like, how did I get so, like, because I was beating myself up. Like, I felt vulnerable. And I felt like, I thought I was making progress, and I just felt like I wasn't making progress. And that's when I had to accept the fact that you were making progress. And I tell my clients this all the time: don't ever let nobody else dictate how you love. Don't ever let nobody else dictate how you love. And I had to pep talk myself and tell myself, like, I cannot let anybody dictate the way I love. Like, I've come a very long way. I used to be very masculine. I used to be very, assertive and aggressive, and not letting anybody in, and avoiding, intimacy, and being vulnerable with people, because I was afraid of being hurt, or I was afraid of my heart being broken. But in this instance, yes, I could say, I will say, I still love the man to this day. I don't wish anything bad on him, but I had to understand that you still, the fact that I still love I would still, I don't, the fact that I still would give the next person and anybody else that I've dated throughout the year, like, I'm still giving you a full opportunity to show yourself. Like, that situation didn't stop me from loving anybody else. That situation didn't stop me from being vulnerable, being intimate with anybody else. It didn't stop me from doing any of that. It just made me realize, like, you have to be a little bit more secluded with the people that you share your body to. You can be intimate in a lot of different ways other than physical intimacy. So I had to learn that, this is just a different level of love. This does not mean that, I was dumb. It doesn't mean that, I did anything stupid, or that I should have any regrets, because I have zero regrets whatsoever. It was what it was. I needed to go through that. But it started off as an abstinence journey, and about 4 months in, I decided to, until, like, as I'm discovering all of this and reflecting on all of this, I decided to say, hey, like, until you are ready to commit to me long term, I ain't got nothing for you. I ain't got nothing for you. The P is locked up. It's locked up somewhere. Like, I ain't even got it on me. I ain't even got it on me, sir. Like, so that's what made this become an abstinence journey to a celibacy journey. So we are 12 months in, and some of the things that I have discovered on this journey, for one of those things, is that a lot of people a lot of men will take advantage of the fact that you do not know who you are. Not to say that I didn't know who I was in that stance, but as I was dating after him, a lot of people would take advantage of you not knowing who you are, or you being vulnerable. And I had to tell him this. I was like, see, the problem is I was too nice to you. The thing that I learned, and I've heard this a lot of times growing up, and it didn't stick until this situation, was the person that you are with has to be more obsessed with you than you are with them. The man that you decide to settle down with, the man that you decide to have children with, should love you more than you love him. That is the only way the relationship is going to work. And I even had to tell him now, I was like, see, the problem was I was too nice to you. I was showing you too much love too early. I was spoiling you too much because I don't know what I was dealing with, but I still had to work through some things within myself where I felt like I still had to be Captain Save-A-Ho, where I feel like I still had to do the most, not to impress you, but because I have this this savior cap on, where I feel like everybody that's connected to me, I know you coming with some problems, so it's my job to fix you. It's my job to heal you. It's my job to show you your value and things like that. And that is the worst thing that you can ever do as a woman. We fall in love with potential, and then we start to move and experience people as if they've already tapped into that potential. That is the worst thing that you could ever do as a woman, and that is because a man who is in love with you, a man who has shown you, and I mean like somebody who has shown you consistently over time, 3-6 months in, you should not be doing anything for a man before he has shown you that he is in love with you and that he worships the ground that you walk on. And one of my old heads had told me that when I told him I was pregnant, he was just like, no, this was right before I got pregnant. Honestly, this was like the summer before. He was just like, have children by a man who's in love with you, because he's gonna help you raise your children. He was like 52 years old, and he was just like, have children by a man who is in love with you, because he will help you raise your children and you won't be stressed out. And I took that, but I just threw that advice up under my wig and was just like, okay, that's cute and all. But when I finally went through this experience, I was like, I see exactly what he's talking about. Y'all ladies, we have to be more secluded with our energy, and we have to stop dating people who have not shown us that they are obsessed with us in a healthy way. And I'm not talking about, delusional or, possessive, but obsessed with you to the point where they're constantly thinking about you first. They're constantly trying to make your life easier. They're constantly, checking in on you and doing everything that they possibly can to make your life simple. Like, we have to start demanding that from people, and if they are not giving that to you, if they're not willing to give that to you, we have to understand that means that they do not love us. That means that they do not want to be with us on the capacity that we see them loving us. And we have to accept that we accept a lot of bullshit. The standard being hell. And I consider myself someone who has, pretty decent standards, but the standard still being hell as far as why am I in. Don't get me wrong. Please do not get me wrong. Those qualities were definitely shown before I even let my guard down, because I don't play that. If he was not showing me that, if he wasn't showing me that before we got to that point, that would have never even been a conversation, because I don't play that, and I know my value and I know my worth. So I don't play with. There was times like where this wasn't even a conversation to be had, because he was trying to impress. Like, he was doing what he had to do to impress. And I'm a good judge of character, so I'm not going to say that he didn't care about me at all, but I will say that he was not capable. He didn't even have the tools. And had I not been so blinded by the reciprocity that I was receiving, I would have been able to understand that, hey, he ain't even ever experienced real love before. So it's not even possible, even though he's showing me all of these things, it's not possible for him to love me the way that I need to be loved, because he doesn't even love himself. He doesn't even know what real love looks like. So that was me having hopes and dreams of wanting this thing so badly that I just disregarded the red flags, or the yellow flags that weren't red, but the small things, the small details. I was ignoring those. So some of the things that I realized during this time was also that a lot of times we spend time with people. Like, I've been dating, obviously I still date, I'm every now and then, I've probably been on like maybe 3 or 4 dates this whole year because I really be in the house and I'm a homebody naturally. But I've been on a few dates, and it literally, I've just been having a lot of one night dates, like maybe two at the most. But it's literally because I can see clearly I know, and my students tell me all the time, like, girl, you need to write a book. You need to write a book on dating. You need to write a book. And I'm just like, I'm no expert at relationships, as far as like being with somebody for years and all the other stuff. I'm no expert at that because I've never done that. Like, the longest I've been with somebody is 2.5 years. So, and that was still nothing serious. So that's the longest I've been with somebody, and I don't feel like I have the expertise to be able to tell y'all that. But one thing I will say is that I am an expert at dating. I am an expert of judging character, judging behaviors and things like that, and knowing what my worth is and what's not. So I'm not somebody who feels like, how can I give somebody advice when I haven't accomplished this? I'm somebody who can say that I know dating. I know men. I understand the male mind. I understand that the logic, the Capricorn in me understands the logical standpoint from a man, and I know how to have conversations with men and get to men. Like, it's not hard to please a man. Like, they're very simple. They don't ask for much. Like, I understand all of that, but at the same time, the reason why I have not been in a long-term relationship or things like that, it is because I have not been in a place where I'm receptive of that. I have not been in a place where I am ready to say, let me commit to somebody full term. Let me try to let me try to understand them. Let me try to compromise things. I've never been in a place where I felt the need to do that. I've never experienced anyone who made me want to compromise my selfishness for them. I've never experienced that. So that's the reason why I haven't been in a long-term relationship. Like, and that's really just it. I know my worth, and if I haven't experienced that, I'm not gonna settle for somebody just to say I'm in a relationship. So that's literally it. That's literally it. But yeah, so what are my goals with this, or what is my intention with this journey? I'm not waiting for any specific person or anything, or time frame or anything like that. I'm waiting for a commitment. Like I said, I do not believe in traditional marriage, so I'm not looking for somebody to give me a ring. But what I am looking for is a very clear understanding of, we are building an empire, or we're building a legacy. Like, somebody who is ready, we're on the same level as far as committing to our purpose, and committing to building community and family and things like that. We share the same principles and values. That's what I'm looking for. And I'm not really looking, I'm attracting, and when it comes to me, I'll know it when I see it. But I'm not in a rush. I love my solitude. I love being by myself. So there's nothing that, I'm in a rush to have or experience, because I love myself enough to say, when it comes, it comes. I'm not pressed for it. And that's one of the things, if you are someone who is considering it, or you think that you need to take it, or you need to take this journey, an abstinence journey, I have a free ebook, Secrets to a Goddess Pussy. The link is in my bio. I'll link it down here in the description as well. But I want you guys to understand that ebook was my journey into the soft girl that I am today, the super feminine girl that I am today, the one who loves her solitude, like and the fact that I love myself enough to take myself out, to buy myself nice things and do all those other things for myself. I also can get a man to do those things as well. Like, it is not a problem to get a man to do those things for me as well, but I don't have to settle for anybody or for anything, because I love myself enough to know that whatever is for me is going to find me. My expectations are not too high. I'm just asking the wrong people. And quite frankly, you shouldn't have to ask for anything. If like I said, if you are dealing with somebody who absolutely loves you and wants to see what's best for you, you wouldn't have to ask them for a thing, a damn thing at all. Like, because they're already thinking of you. They're already examining you. They're already putting you first. And as far as like, before they make a decision to do something, they know what you need, and so they're ready to provide it for you. And until I get that long term, because a lot of guys can do that for a few months, but until I get that full long term, until I see that long term investment into me, and I feel like, this is serious and we are ready to go in the same path together, I am going to stay celibate. Of course, I'll keep you guys updated as it goes, or if anything changes, or if I come across any other epiphanies on this journey. But I've never been somebody who was like super promiscuous anyways. Like, I have a video up. We talked about that last week about your whole phase or whatever. So I have a video up about that. So go back and watch that video from last week about that phase or whatever. But other than that, like, since I've been on my wellness journey, yeah, I can count. I definitely don't give my body up like that. No shade to anybody who does, but I know for sure that since I value myself more, I'm very much so cautious of who I let into me, who I let experience me, because a lot of people don't deserve my time, like, let alone this cat, like. People don't even deserve my time or my energy. So I know for a fact this box ain't for everybody. So I have to keep it locked up for everybody else's sake, okay? Because I don't need no more crazies, and I also don't need no more energy exchanges with people who don't know what to do with all this good energy, okay? All this good pussy and can't find nobody to give it to. Ain't that a shame? Ain't that a shame? God, Lord. Anywho's, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video to the end. I hope that it was insightful for you guys. And if anybody is on an abstinence journey right now, I just want you to know that you are worth the wait. You do not have to be, and I advise anybody, I said I was going to give y'all no advice, but, I advise anybody who's on this journey to not let up. Don't let up because you're dating someone. Don't let up for any reason other than you feel like you have the person that is walking they're giving you everything that I just mentioned. Like, they are kissing the ground that you walk on. They are giving you everything that you desire. They are giving you straight goddess energy. Do not let up. And I definitely encourage you after 90 days to, if you are single, I definitely encourage you to still date, to get back out there and start dating. So, because I don't consider it, I mean, abstinence is abstinence, but if you are just abstaining and it's because you're in the house, you're not really abstaining. You're not really learning the principle, or you're not learning what you need to learn as far as how to say no, how to let your no's be no's, how to actually interact with people that you are attracted to and still stand your ground. So if you are, I hear a lot of girls say, oh, well, I stopped having sex for 5 years and I got back out here and still got heartbroken. It's because you being in the house is not abstaining. That just means you ain't got no niggas. Like, that's a difference between you going out, you're dating, you're experiencing different guys, and you're still holding your ground. You're still saying, I know who I am, and if you want to deal with me, then you need to deal with me knowing that you're not getting none. If that's not enough for you, then go to the next person. But you still, how are you ever going to find somebody who is willing to wait for you, because you are worth the wait? How are you going to find that if you are not exercising your right to still be out here dating and experiencing people, and also still being able to say, I don't owe you my body? Me being going on a date with you does not mean that I owe you my body. You giving me some money does not mean I owe you my body. You doing absolutely nothing for me. I don't care if this man takes you up out the hood and gives you this fairy tale lifestyle. That does not mean that he deserves your body. Nothing a man does for you equates to him deserving your body or earning your body. That should be something that is a spiritual connection that you just feel like you are ready to do. It should not have anything to do with anybody else, and anybody that is pressuring you, anybody who is downing you or acting like, oh, well, you're not going to find nobody. If this is the case, they're lying and they're manipulative, and you need to let them go, because the right person will wait. If you made it to the end, make sure that you give me a thumbs up. If you like this content, I appreciate you for watching all the way to the end. And if you are not subscribed, make sure that you go ahead and subscribe so that you do not miss out on this amazing content, because there are plenty more videos where this came from. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.